we'll see what happens with Pederson in Jacksonville. I still don't see him and Trent Baalke. I don't see that thing working out. But they need Brandon Graham. I think he's got enough left in the tank. Certainly, he has more than Ryan Kerrigan would have left, and that the energy and stuff and that leadership that can't be understated. I think.
You got your Mag guys here on Birds 365, McDonald and McMullen, getting ready to talk to our favorite vampire. I don't know why it is. He's always dark. Is it dark where you live, Bob Grotz? I don't know what the deal is. Do we have these fancy lights that you don't have? I don't know why it's always like, got to look for Bob Grotz. Make sure he's in there because you can just about see him.
Yeah, I can't see you guys.
Yeah, he's got that Johnny Cash vibe about him.
That's very good. That's a good call, McMullen. He does look like Johnny Cash.
Well, Bob's the coolest guy in the world, just like Johnny Cash. So there you go.
Thanks, John. You know what the only reason I came on this show is to take my game to the next level.
You always do when you come.
Speaking
of taking it to the next level, let's go there then. Both Harry Roseman and Nick Sirianni yesterday were believing that Jalen Rose can take his game to the next level, that there is much improvement still to come from Jalen Hurts. They doing a good sales job, truly believe it. They went bent over backwards to pat their guy on the back. You buying, Bob Grotz?
Well, they got to say that. And are they still looking? Yeah, they're still looking to see what develops out there. But I think this also could be a matter of them realizing that they really don't have a great shot at getting somebody like a Deshaun Watson. So, and it's gonna cost too much. So what do? You just throw your confidence behind your guy, and because really that's all you can do. And some of the other options out there, I don't think I'm getting the feeling right now that Aaron Rodgers is going to stick with Green Bay. He's going to stay there. And Russell Wilson, I don't know if you want to. Would Russell Wilson win a Super Bowl with this team in 2 years? I don't know. I think there's still a lot of holes on this team. Would Deshaun Watson win one in 2 years? Same thing. They still got a lot of holes, but you'd have more upside, obviously, with Watson. What is he? Watson's 26.
26
and, the other guy's in his 30s, 33. So it's a lot of you want to get that. The quarterback is real important and everything, but I don't know that they, even with all their draft picks, I don't know that they're in a great position because they still have a lot of needs. So I think it's kind of, I think they're just doing what they got to do. They got to endorse Jalen Hurts. They got to say that he's made progress and he just needs time. But I'll tell you this. I mean, Nick Sirianni's not the most eloquent guy when he speaks. And it sounded like he needed to see Jalen Hurts for the next 20 years or something like that. And you're not going to get 20 years to develop in Philadelphia. That's for sure. So,
that is for sure.
Yeah, and, I mean, it was kind of so. It is what it is. He's your guy right now. You don't have much of a choice. Would I be looking for a quarterback? Yeah, I still would.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of goopiness with Nick Sirianni. And the Eagles dragged the Villanova backboard. The Villanova Papa shot out to Indianapolis so guys could take some free throws. Interestingly, Bob, if the Sixers did that, they wouldn't have the problems that they had over the years. Just had some guys take some free throws, maybe see if they could shoot. But Sam Howell brought that up and, kind of laughed about it. And
that was great.
Yeah. What do you think about the
great?
Eagles?
I love that. Yeah. I'd like to see Howie take 5 free throws,
Yeah, he's not
going to. I don't know that he would put 2 of them in.
And nobody's beating Jake Elliott. We know that.
Yeah,
Nobody.
They said it. And Nick said it's a good icebreaker, and for him it is. For some of these other guys, a little off the wall. Yeah, and you're certainly not gonna. you're not going to see Deshaun Watson shoot free throws if they bring him in.
Yeah, maybe he should spend more of his time shooting free throws.
Yeah,
maybe,
but Nick, he's got to bring his flair to it, and the bigger thing and I heard people mention this in questions. The bigger thing at the combine is how the Eagles are planned to sync up, at least in some way, what the needs are to what the coaches think they are. So that should be interesting to see. But I think Howie also said something that was smart. You just draft good guys, and you don't completely worry that hey, if you have to change coordinators or something, that you're going to be stuck with a guy who doesn't fit at all. You can mitigate that by the guys that you draft.
All right, if I've got to be the guy to defend Nick Sirianni here, I willingly accept that assignment. Goofy, all right, fine. If you guys want to go there, I'll ask you about a coach I saw for the first time yesterday. This McDaniel guy of Miami. He's just flat out goofy. Weird.
Yeah, he's kind of
You want to make fun of Nick Sirianni. If you're a Dolphin fan sitting out there going, where the hell did we get this guy from? He's from another planet.
Yeah.
I heard.
Did you see?
When
I heard
he's getting $100,000 for each news conference that he does it. That he acts like that. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. When John Lynch was talking about him talking up, he was in the crowd. Did you see that little video clip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a good look. But,
yeah.
Maybe it works. Maybe it works for him. He's an NFL head coach. He's gotten that far.
Yeah. The NFL has, the way that they're picking these coaches it's just completely changed. Weird. And Doug Pederson is like one of the exceptions, and Lovie Smith, another veteran. So, but I mean, this is the young guys' moment. This is their moment now, and we'll see what happens with Pederson in Jacksonville. I still don't see him and Trent Baalke. I don't see that thing working out. But I don't see
nobody gets along. Baalke. Yeah, I will say this, but I think Doug, he got that question, what would you do differently, in Jacksonville? And he said, other than win a championship. So he's gotten better at handling some of the stuff. And it's going to be much easier for him not dealing with people like Bob Grotz and John McMullen and people shouting him down every Wednesday. You got like 6 people in Jacksonville. I think Doug is set up very well with Trevor Lawrence. They got to get better, Bob. They got to get better.
The one thing he did really well, at least until late in his tenure with the Eagles, was manage that quarterback position.
Yeah.
He avoided 2 or 3 controversies. I was really impressed with that. That was like Andy Reid level stuff, the way he did that. Yeah. The Bradford thing, and then and even the backup, not going right to Wentz.
Chase Daniel,
even just nipping that in the bud. I was impressed with that stuff, and the way he kind of finessed Carson Wentz to the bench when his back was hurt in 2018 and brought Nick Foles back out. That was interesting. So he's really good at managing that position, and just preliminarily, it seems like Trevor Lawrence likes him. So. And not that Lawrence is a hard guy to get along with anyway, but it looks like he really appreciates the chances that he's going to get to
Plus,
improve.
Urban Meyer set the bar so low, everybody's going to love Doug to get away from Urban Meyer. It's a perfect situation.
I wonder what he's doing right now. Wow.
Nice.
You think he's watching the combine, laughing
at probably at a bar getting a laugh.
Yeah, he's in his bar getting some woman to rub up on him while watching the combine today. All right, let me go here.
Thanks for the visual. Yeah.
Hey, that video went viral. I'm just referencing something that everybody on the planet saw. All right, give me a percentage, Bob Grotz of the Delco Times. The Eagles still, I think, would like to think of themselves as a quarterback factory. And in the factory, you got to make things. And they believe they're still making Jalen Hurts. But it never hurts to have extra dough along the line. 3 first-round picks. They may trade all 3 of them for a quarterback. They may trade 1. They may trade 2. We don't know what they're going to do, but assuming they keep all 3, what's the chance that if they love what they get done at 15 and 16, at number 19, the best quarterback on the board is still there? They've got their board. They've got the quarterbacks rated. Maybe 1 comes off. Maybe 2 come off by the time they get to 19. But the guy they have ranked number 1 is still there. Will the quarterback factory be able to stay behind Jalen Hurts enough to say, well, we're not taking a quarterback because we have our quarterback? Or will they surprise everybody and take a quarterback in the first round? Give me a percentage chance they call out a QB's name.
In the first round, 0.
0%.
0%.
You're not even going 2%.
Give me a 5%.
0.0. No, it will not happen. It won't happen. Yeah. And besides, they got Gardner Minshew. I think he put in like 9 or 10 regulation shots.
Yeah, regulation. Yeah.
There's nobody. There's nobody.
Now, what if Sam Howell?
What if Sam Howell
made all 5? What if Sam Howell made all 5? Is he back on the board?
Yeah, I don't know.
He only made 2 of 5.
Well, I like that they're speaking to him, but if one of those, if their guy dropped to the second round, I could see that. That's a possibility. But first round, no. They could get more value out of trading that pick, the 19th pick. That's still a decent pick in a draft full of defensive guys. And oh, by the way, that's this draft. I mean, the more I look at some of the prospects and as much as I can, look at highlights and stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong picking any of these Georgia guys. I mean, from the linebackers to the pass rushers, the defensive tackles, you could close your eye. You could put all the Georgia guys in a basket, close your eyes and draw out a name, and you got a decent pick or 2 in the first round. So I see them, I see this setting up for them defense and then trading the pick.
I'm glad you went there because we were talking about it right before we punch you up, Bob. I know what the Eagles' needs are. I know they need a edge pass rusher more than they need certain other things. But I think the 2 biggest difference makers in this draft, just on their skill and ability, position aside, which I know the entire National Football League disagrees with me, is Nakobe Dean and Kyle Hamilton, a linebacker and a safety. The 2 positions on defense that the NFL is de-emphasizing on a year-after-year basis more and more. I'm sorry, I love both of these kids. And I would be aggressive and move up for either of these kids if they come down enough. Now, the linebacker position is so de-emphasized, Dean might come back all the way down to you. And if that's the case, I would take him with the first pick that the Eagles have immediately. Kyle Hamilton, I don't think is coming all the way down to him.
Oh, no.
How much do you think the Eagles should not be motivated by, not be pushed by positional rankings in the National Football League and their own history? Should they just take the best football player available?
I think he's really good too. Watching him in a lot of these big games, he was the guy that always showed up for Georgia. So, but you do have philosophies, and for the Eagles, it's the first priorities are the offensive and defensive lines, and then you're on defense. You're looking at the edge rushers, and also the cornerbacks. That's kind of the way that they do it. So, I don't know that he would be there anyway at 15. I think somebody would probably take a shot at him before. I think he's going to go higher than people than they think. But would I do it? Yeah, I mean that guy, and the safety. I guess, I mean, it would take a first round pick to move up to get that safety. It would take 2 picks. So, and you can't. I don't know that I would do that. I think there's plenty other value, right? I mean, but those are 2 intriguing prospects. And they the safety. I'm starting to wonder, the Notre Dame safety. I'm starting to wonder if he's too good to be true. Because a lot of people are just. I mean, he's just.
Well, he is, but for different reasons. Jody and I were talking about this.
John, I talked about this yesterday.
He is so unique. He's like a unicorn. He can play everywhere, and everybody talks about that kind of stuff, but they never do it. They just line him up at strong safety, and then he's not the player he should be. Like the Cowboys, I compared him to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, you had everybody talking about Parsons
Yeah.
as he's an off-ball linebacker or he's an edge rusher. You and I talked about that. His arms are too short to be an edge rusher. And all of a sudden he shows up and he can do everything. And they move him all over the place. And he's the best stinking defensive rookie since Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
But that was out of necessity, Bob, because DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt. If DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't get hurt, they just put him at all-ball linebacker, and he's not Micah Parsons.
They had a good defensive coach too.
Yeah,
I mean that guy, that coordinator, Dan Quinn, he really knows how to put his personnel in the best possible situations. Unlike some other guys, and I'm not going to mention any names, like that are enamored with scheme and they forget about the players that they actually have and how to play to their strengths. But I don't know if you would even know who I'm talking about. But Quinn is really good in that respect. So, man, but you could do a lot. Let's be honest. I mean, that Notre Dame safety, you could do a lot to
play all over
to scheme a defense around him, and you could do a lot to scheme a defense with Hutchinson or Thibodeau, those guys up top. So, there's 4 or 5 guys, real difference makers up top, and and then got offensive linemen. I think this is a decent draft for depth and a great draft for defensive help, which is what the Eagles need.
We talked about this yesterday on the show. Bucky Brooks, who does a nice job, who was prominently displayed yesterday on the NFL Network all day long. He came out with his mock draft. Kyle Hamilton falling to number 15 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nah.
His lips to football God's ears. I don't think that has a chance in hell of happening, but if it does, man, would that be good for the Eagles? All right, let me ask you about a player. We all want to talk draft. We all want to talk about free agency. How about an Eagle player who could either stay or go? Will Boston Scott be on the Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming season?
Well, he's restricted, so there's a lot of running backs in the draft, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he moved on, but he's going to have no problem getting a job. He could end up moving on because of the depth of.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's looking at these other guys in the draft and what they have, the options that they have. It's a tough decision, but it's a good thing.
Now, the tougher decision to me at running back, and we've been talking about this, Bob, so I'll run it by you, is Miles Sanders, because he's entering the final year of his rookie deal. The Eagles aren't going to extend him. They don't like spending money at that position. So he's going to play out the final year of his rookie deal, and he's going to either, finally break out and become the 1,300-yard runner that people thought he would become and be too expensive, or be that same guy who's right at 800 yards and he's okay. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He makes some bad mistakes you live with. Either way, is there any chance Miles Sanders earns a second contract in Philadelphia? Because they're not going to want to pay him if he plays to that level. And if he doesn't, why would they want him? Is this it for Miles Sanders?
It all depends on performance, like you were just talking about. So I don't think I don't think they've ruled out giving him an extension. It's going to depend on whether he can stay healthy. He's still got a lot of talent.
He does.
Are they going to give him would they want to extend him for several years? I'm not so sure about that. And then as I was talking about, and all the scouts or the NFL scouts or the draft nicks and all that, they're talking about the depth of running backs in this draft.
Yeah, they are.
You're gonna be able to get somebody in there. There's a lot of those guys. So, but with Miles Sanders, it's that reliability thing too. He's missed too many games for me. I mean, I want a guy who's going to be there. Like, I know that position takes a beating, but I want a guy that I can count on week in and week out. So, and There's your argument for not signing him long term because
then,
of that.
Then let me get both you guys on the record on this one. Since you're both like Miles saying, yeah, probably not. Boston Scott, nah. He'll land somewhere. They know it. Who the hell's going to carry the ball for the Eagles next year? Are you ready to give it to Kenny Gainwell 15 times a game? They are still the most.
They're going to draft a running back.
Yeah, whoever they draft, they're the
number one running team in the National Football League. They got to have somebody actually carry the football to be the number one rushing team.
Well, that's the point. It doesn't matter who was running the football; they ran it effectively. So why not get a cost-effective? We had Tommy Lawler on, Bob. He brought up Elijah Mitchell in San Francisco. I think was a 6th-round pick, and he was really good. Bob Grotz and Jody McDonald could get 4 yards behind the Eagles' offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's and look at who they ran it against. Yeah, they ran it a lot, but they ran it effectively, most effectively against teams that didn't have great defenses. I mean, let's be honest about that. Who did they run against that had a good defense?
Well, they ran. Yeah, they ran the ball well against the top 10 run defenses. There was that streak where they had like 3 top 5 run defenses.
That's what you wanted to do. You wanted the Eagles. If you
the Saints, I think were number 1.
Yeah,
when they came to
were
town,
a good team, though. You
Washington. Washington was 3rd, I think, when the Eagles. They ran the ball against everybody.
But you wanted. I mean, you knew that the Eagles weren't gonna beat you. If you're a good team, you knew they weren't gonna beat you with that run game.
You always want.
You got to be able to throw the ball. So
yeah,
I mean, so they let him. I mean, that's kind of a deceptive number. Is the offensive line really good? Yeah. I mean, and by the way, that's another reason for thinking about this offensive line. You put a real good quarterback behind it, and he can make any receivers look good. So, but you still got all those holes on defense. So, do you use too many a lot of resources to get that quarterback and not shore up the defense, and you're kind of you got to outscore everybody by a lot of points, or do you stick with what you got? And right now, I think they're kind of stuck with what they have, but. Yeah, I mean, I think you could put just about anybody back to what we were talking about. I think you could put a lot of guys, and everybody's got talent. Put just about anybody with talent, including guys fresh out of the draft. There's some power backs. You put them behind that offensive line of the Eagles, and they're going to get yards.
All right, let me go to another player who's going to be back on the Eagles again next year, not coming in via the draft or coming in via free agency. What do you think Brandon Graham's got left in the tank? I know everybody loves him. I know he's a great leader in the clubhouse. I know he made one of the best defensive plays in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. But he was injured all last year, and the driver's license says he's not getting any younger. He's got a big cap number, but I think he's staying. So they're going to expect some production from Brandon Graham, even if they draft a edge rusher in the first round, which they damn well better. What kind of year do you think Brandon Graham's going to have, Bob Grotz?
Yeah, I think you really do need to bring this guy back, because he's such, and it's beyond what he can give you on the field, and he'll give you a lot of hard work, and on the field, on game day, and during practice, and that's what the young guys need to see. They need to see, the total pro, the consummate pro. You got to bring him back. I'm not so sure that they bring back Fletcher Cox. I wouldn't be surprised if they spoke to him about possibly a trade, and that would entail him also reworking his contract with whoever it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone, but they need Brandon Graham. I think he's got enough left in the tank. Certainly, he has more than Ryan Kerrigan would have left, and that the energy and stuff, and that leadership, that can't be understated. I think he'd be, and let's be honest too about the contract and the cap number. They'll figure something out. They'll lighten up that cap number. They'll add years to it, or do something, and so that won't be any type of a burden. But I really think you absolutely need a guy like him to come back.
All right, last one for me, Bob Grotz, the great Bob Grotz, at Bob Grotz on Twitter. Read him at the Delco Times, delcotimes.com. You had mentioned to me yesterday, Bob, you're doing some Flyers work, which I did not know.
Oh boy.
Now,
There's a tough sell, man.
well, no, that's what, I'm dating myself, but I go back to the Spectrum days. I still remember the number 17077. Every stinking game, the Flyers would sell that place out. How many people are in that building these days? Because some of these crowds look just dismal.
Well, they announced the ticket sales. They don't tell you who's actually in the building.
That's what I mean.
The games that I've been there, 2 or 3 games, one against Washington, there weren't 10,000 people there.
Wow. I never thought I'd see the day. Those fans.
And Washington's not like Edmonton. That we can get people come up the Turnpike to watch the Caps play. They're a good team, and they're a couple-hour drive away. That's shameful if they're getting that small a crowd.
Yeah, they're taking their lumps. There's no doubt about that. And this sounds like an excuse, but that whole thing with the vaccination stuff, you got to show proof of vaccination or a test. You don't have to do that now, but that didn't help either. I mean,
that hurt.
I don't, I'm not a CDC guy, so. But that's not good. I mean, you go in there and you're haggling about that is going to prevent some people from even trying to get tickets, on that secondary market. You're going to, I need this, and so the Flyers, but every time Mike Yeo, every time I saw him at a press conference, I just felt bad for the guy, the coach. I mean, what can you do? I mean, and I'm telling you guys, I think he's doing a great job. I mean, I've never seen injuries like that. He just, who he's got to mix and match together and stuff. I've never seen injuries like that before. And I'm even starting to feel sorry for Fletcher. I mean, man, it's like, what did I do to deserve this? But this is this Flyers team is just, they just, oh man, it just.
All right, so you're not blaming Yo, you're not blaming Fletcher. Who the hell are you blaming?
Yeah, I guess
they stink.
I guess I'll have to jump on Hextall for some of those picks, and like Bobby Clark said, like Bobby Clark ripped him pretty good, and I'm starting to think, man, I mean, they just misevaluated him.
They were the number one team in the East 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
those were all Hextall played. So we're blaming Hextall 2 years after the fact.
No, that guy, Alain Vigneault, and I'm blaming him.
Alain Vigneault.
He does not develop guys. It's like, and he doesn't have time for them. He was like Doug Pederson with the Eagles. You make mistakes, you ain't gonna play. And that kind of helped write Doug Pederson's ticket out of town. He never really developed the young guys. So, but Vigneault, the same thing. And now they got a bunch of guys that are just kind of looking at each other and. It's not fun to watch because you kind of realize what's going to happen. They're going to play them close, but something's going to happen in the third period and they're going to lose. So it's going to be tough.
We got up on a hockey tangent. How? I don't really know.
I want to know who the next coach is going to be.
Bob Grotz. We could have talked Sixers. We could have talked the CBA and the MLB.
He said he was going down there, so I had to ask him.
Yeah. Hey, the Sixers.
Sixers
How
are
about that, Jody Mack.
Yeah. How about these morons who worried about picking up? Oh, you can't get James Harden. You can't give up Ben Simmons for James Harden. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Or he's got nothing left.
That's a ticket you want to get your hands on. Flyers tickets, good seats available, according to Bob Grotz. Sixers tickets, good luck with that. Get ready to go deep into the wallet. As we have to do to get Bob Grotz to come on the show, we have to pay him the big bucks too. Bob, the check's in the mail, big guy.
All right, guys.
I still owe Bob a coffee. Jeez, paying the big bucks. But I haven't seen you in a while, so
And
you're starting to fade out. Yeah.
Next time you guys see each other, you probably won't have to be tested or cross our fingers. You never really know.
At least for COVID. With Grotz, you don't know.
We test Grotz for a straight jacket. Bobby, good stuff. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Right,
we'll get back to you in a couple weeks.
See you, Bob.
Bob Grotz, always entertaining from the Delco Times whenever he hops aboard Birds 365. All right, we got to come back, put a bow on the show. Combine week here on Birds 365.